Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me okay? Okay, thank you very much. So from the sharing in the morning, Sarah and May gave a very good keynote talking about what will be the next. And Chris shared about the on-ground thing and how to use the code assistant tool better. And so the future is very bright. And we also have some on-ground practice now. But there are still some companies or some teams are not using AI assistant tools right now. So there is a research, only about 80% of the companies are using AI tools. So can I get a ratio from people here? So are you using AI assistant tools in your team? If you use, raise your hand, please. Okay, great. So I think most of the people here is using AI tools, which is great, but still see some of the teams are not using AI tools. And also in Thoughtworks client, some client of us is not allowed to use AI tools in their project as well. So that's the situation. And I'm very glad to see everyone, or most of you, embracing AI with a great passion. But today, let me cool you down a little bit because there are some common pitfalls we have observed. So if we are not doing AI right, we will face some issue here. Okay. So I think many of us would have just asked those questions before when they started using AI. So why my velocity is not promising? So I'm expecting 100% of velocities, but which is not. Why my productivity is not stable, sometimes high, sometimes low. And why the code quality sometimes is getting worse. To answer those questions, let's go and see a research from Stanford. This research is talking about how AI impacts the code outcome quantitatively. So as we can see here, using AI definitely increased the outcome of the code generation. So it increased about like 30 to 40%, but actually it's also introduced more and more rework and refactors from less than 5% in the beginning to 20 to 30% at this moment. So because of this, the net productivity gains is very limited. Then let's see another real example. So I'm asking AI to implement a feature for me and also prepared some of the test cases to verify the code. So AI did multiple rounds of implementations, and none of them successfully passed my unit test. And what AI did at last, so it think, okay, I tried my best to do this. I'm pretty sure my code is correct. And so the only thing could be wrong is the unit test. Let me delete them. And after that, all tests passed. Great, I've done this work. And also left a lot of debugging messages and a lot of updates, markdowns in my code base. If I didn't notice what AI have done to my code carefully and just accept the code it generates, I'm pretty sure there will be some rework in the future and wait for me to resolve. So is that because AI is not good enough? In the Chris sharing, I think people already, or from your own experience, we all know that, yeah, AI sometimes can do very good work. So maybe it's not the AI's fault, right? So AI can do things good. So I believe it's more about human. It's about how we use AI in this case. Have you faced this issue before, by the way? Yeah, I think everyone sees this, right? Yeah. So I have interviewed a lot of teams internally and externally. And when they're using AI tools, I think most of the team are still using the old mindset of the software deliveries like this. So, but though, like for example, the code is the bottleneck. People believe that the coding is the most time-consuming part in the software delivery. And the faster writing leads to faster delivery. And the team believe that every outcome, every asset in the delivery was go through multiple rounds of human thinking and human verifications. And people believe that the code review is checking for the implementation, checking for if the code is following the patterns or is there any bugs in the code. But none of us would think, okay, the business value in the code is not aligned with the target. That's still valid in the current situation when teams are embracing AI. Definitely, it is not. Right? A lot of things has changed. So if we are still using the old mindset and doing them wrong, AI can accelerate the wrong thing even faster. So it will lead us to some dangerous pitfalls. There are the 4 pitfalls we have observed from different teams. And the first one, overtrust to AI. Second one, the unrealistic velocity promising and some illusions. Third one, the wrong path of personal growth. And the last one, engineering culture collapse. The first pitfall is overtrust to AI. Many teams believe AI is much better than themselves. Some team members believe AI understands everything because the model knows so much knowledge than humans. And most of the time, it can give better suggestion than human and even provide some solutions the human didn't think of or human didn't understand. Also, because of that, a lot of developers assume that AI understands what to do or how to do. So they can use simple prompts or without details or minimal prompts to guide the AI to do things and wait for the result because they think AI can do things better than themselves. It's just like using the simple prompts, generate the leave request API for me. Just like making a wish to someone, and you probably can get something from the wish, but most of the time you'll get the result in a very strange way. And the result from those minimum prompts and vague prompts will lead to multiple rounds of review and refactor and reprompt. And sometimes it's even harder for people to update or change the code accordingly. So the developers have to drop everything and reprompt from scratch again. All right, drop everything and let's try that again from scratch. That's a lot of developers are doing this right now. So I call this garbage in, garbage out. You give garbage to the AI and AI give you garbage out. So information is not expertise. The prompt without expertise from human will only lead to some inconsistent and unexpected outcome. Even the model have a lot of information. So it also means that if we are using AI to build something with the technology human didn't understand at all, it's also very risky because you cannot validate if the thing is working aligned with their target. So in a long-term run, I think it's quite risky. And also some teams believe that AI write better codes than themselves. Because the AI-generated code looks very promising, the people see designs and patterns in the code. But actually, if you don't specify the code details and constraints, AI-generated code will only give you random patterns. For example, AI-generated code, the AI-generated code before generates the test. So when it comes to writing the test is only to confirm the code. It's not to confirm the business. Even the code have some problem, AI would generate tests to pass the code with problem. And AI creates a lot of duplications in your code. It doesn't, most of the time, it doesn't understand your utility functions. It will create similar functions again and again, spreading your whole code base multiple times. And AI also doesn't respect your code layer structures. I have seen multiple times that AI mixing using the service and the repository together in your controller, which it shouldn't. And AI doesn't respect the code consistency as well. It generates for loop sometimes, and sometimes it's using streaming functions in the same code base. And AI does a lot of over designs as well. So it brings unnecessary complexities at the beginning. Developers need to clean them up. And also, AI sometimes generates bugs for the complicated logics. For example, if you are not specify, if you're using like an ORM framework, sometimes they will give you the code with the 1+n query problems. So AI is just like a team member just joined your team from another company. And it has its own patterns. It has good skill of writing code, but the pattern or the skill doesn't match your needs. And also, AI doesn't learn, actually. Every time you create a new conversation with the AI, everything you taught to the AI was gone. So this is like a very stubborn team member. And some team believe that, okay, AI can do perfect architecture because the ADR AI generated looks very comprehensive with a lot of different options and looks very reasonable. But when you go to verify the options and the reasons behind that, sometimes it's very hard to do the verification. Sometimes it even doesn't match your organization context. So the architecture is not only a game on the paper, right? So it is, it's not only a technology thing. It also, it is a long-term trade-off in a social system too. So people need a lot of context to build a good architecture. And most of the information might not in an AI-friendly resource, just like a wiki or documentation. It could be in people's minds, it could be in your organization structures. So how can AI make a good decision without those contexts, without understanding the upstream and downstream system context? Yeah. Also, according to Conway's law, so the domain boundaries are usually aligned with their team boundary or their team structures. So the organization politics applies here, which AI doesn't understand as well. And also, when the architecture comes to the CFR part, AI will always suggest the industry average or industry best practices CFR for you. It could give you suggestion that, okay, let's do a cross-region active architecture for a single internal microservices because most of the system using this architecture as best practices. So the CFR needs to learn from the real production and the real life, but AI doesn't understand. If you overtrust AI, accept what AI says, without verification or without our own human thinking. As a consequence, we will only get more and more tech debts, and most of the tech debts are even hidden. It's not detected by the team because the team don't know about them. And missing quality controls because sometimes the quality ineffectiveness of AI like inconsistency of the code, the bugs in the code will break the the quality controls. And we will get less control to the code base as well. The human won't be able to understand the impact of the code change to the other system or other component anymore. At the final result, it will risk the production release and the user experience. So how to do AI right? How to do the development right with AI? Here are some suggestions. So first of all, pay more attention to the sensible defaults or the best practices in your team. And anchor the best practices and the conventions by prompts in the format of rules or instructions. Focus on prompt qualities as structured prompts with detailed information or specs will improve the quality of the output significantly. And the spec key recently is the best practice for this. If we provide like enough context in the structure, step by step, your outcome is more stable and consistent. And ask for options, but not for the decisions. AI can give a lot of good insights when it comes to the options. We can use that as a reference, plus our own knowledge about the politics, about some context that is not in the document, to help us to make a better decision. And always break down the task for AI or with AI together. But 100% sure, we as humans need to do the review for the breaking. Apply duplication checkers, and sometimes even worth to introduce the architecture fitness functions to check the missing point from AI. For example, the duplicated code or some structure constraint breaking from the AI code. And the most important thing is humans always own the governance and the accountability. So a more strict engineering standard needs to apply if you are using AI in this case. The second pitfall is the unrealistic velocity promise. People may be expecting a very, very high productivity gains after using AI immediately. Why was that? Because the most easy productivity gains is from the code generation. The team will easily satisfied from the productivities. Oh my God, I can get so much code within 10 minutes. So they feel that they can amplify the same ratio or same amplification to the other activities in the whole software delivery lifecycle, and making promise based on this illusion. Yep. So everyone is very excited when they see the speed of the AI generation, right? So 10 minutes of agent work. The human needs to spend 1 day or even more time to achieve the same amount of the code. But engineering is not only coding. There are a lot of more activities or works needs to be done. For example, the business requirement analysis, testings, deployments. Those are all time-consuming work in the whole life cycle. And AI also can easily be slowed down by different reasons. The uncleared requirement is the most common reason in this case. If the requirement is not clear, AI sometimes can stop for clarification. But at most of the time, AI just do the thing with its own guess, and the result is not matched with your original intent. So think about that. You have a client. The client says, okay, I want that thing. And you didn't clarify with him and spend a lot of time to build the thing. The client said, oh, that's not what I want. Give me another version. You try multiple rounds. Yeah, that's happened a lot. And right now it's your turn to give AI the same answer. That's not what I want. Do it again. And yeah, so I did a lot of measurement in the team, in different teams in Thoughtworks, and none of the team can get a significant productivity increase immediately after they adopt different AI tools. The learning curves also applies here. This is one good measurement example on one team in Thoughtworks. And you can see that. This is the story point they have achieved from about 40 to, what is that, 50 something. So their overall productivity increased about 60% in about half a year, or even more than half a year. And from the trends, you cannot see a significant productivity increase. And also sometimes it will even go down when they adopt some new AI practices. So it spends time for people to learn how to use AI in this case. So no immediate or huge improvement can be expected. It follows the nature of the laws. Right? So no exceptions on here. By the way, the pure agentic thing is another story. So it could increase the velocity very, very much, but it's not in the scope for today. And personally, I feel the pure agentic delivery is not mature, by the way. Yeah. So how to do the analysis right with AI? First of all, define the why and downs with detailed acceptance criteria. Here is very important. And spend more time to do analysis, to do business clarification before you move to the code generation. The times you spend in front will save more time after the code generation. And spend more time to define the key details like the models, the API specs, the error flows before you go to the prompting. And use AI for tasking plans, but not only for typing. The structured way of structured prompt and the structured steps for AI to finish the work brings much more productivities here. And don't over-optimize your delivery metrics. Some teams, they narrow on the output quantities, for example, line of code generated by AI, and to pretend, okay, my team is doing great by using AI. Because you see, the quantity of the code increased a lot, but it doesn't have that much value. We still need to focus on marrying the business values, but not AI output quantities. So in my experience, like the lead time, the throughput of the user stories, the total velocity you can achieve is still the key measurement for productivities. And also the measurement for the internal productivities, like the lead time for change or the deployment frequencies also contributes to the measurement here. And at last, adopting new AI skills also takes time. So we need to set realistic expectation when we're using different AI tools. Okay, the third pitfall is about the people growth. We have seen two wrong paths of it so far. AI capability advancing rapidly and becoming the skills like prompting, contextual reasoning is becoming essential in the delivery. But the challenge is not choosing between the AI skills and the coding skills, but the true challenge is to find a real good balance between the two different skills and grow them together. So when team over-index on one side, will fall into different traps. The first one is under-trained with AI, and the second one is over-focused on AI. The first wrong path is under-trained with AI. 15 years ago, 20 years ago, we spent a lot of time to teach our team or to train the team to switch the IDE from Eclipse to IntelliJ and train them how to use shortcuts and how to use the refactoring functionalities from the new IDE. But why don't we spend the same effort to train our team on AI skills right now? Lots of teams just get assigned to different AI tools. Okay, I give you a license to Copilot, I give you a license to Cursor, that's it. You know, without the support of the training, and how can the team use the tool better? The tools are only like coding monkeys in the team and help people to get like a faster typing. But it's not like a reasoning partner working with the developers together. The prompts they use are very vague and no context, no constraints, no detailed specs is given. And they use new prompts every time for different different stories, but actually they could be shared by a standard prompts. It's very easy to happen when a team is just started to using AI tools or any of the new AI tools. They get immediate positive feedback from the tool, but without a proper guidance or training. The satisfaction from the AI output quantities or the qualities will slow them down in the future. Another wrong path is the over-focus on AI skills. The team values prompts more than coding skills or the engineering masteries. The team never code, but instead they can do very well promptings, structured and detailed. And so the expectation of the code generation is promising because the prompt is good, but they lose the foundation of the craft skills to make the judgment. The issue is noticed especially for grads or for very junior developers. They are the group who can easily fall into the first pitfall, overtrust to AI. And multiple grads in my team have already go on this wrong path. Already. Right? So one of them even use AI to generate codes in a clean code training. So my purpose is train them to write better code, but they use AI to give me the result. So we cannot stop the juniors to use AI. So what we did is to use special prompts to stop their AI tools to give them direct outcome, but pair with them iteratively and guide them to think. Yeah, to do the people growth right, the most important thing is finding the balance between engineering skills and the AI skills. Never ignore the engineering master race, and train the AI skills for integration with real use case. That's more important. For example, how to use AI to do the root cause analysis, but not only give trainings for generate content. And build learning into AI assistant delivery. Learn from AI, understand why and how AI is choosing this approach. Grow, building the shared standard AI practices in your team. And not only review the code generated by AI, especially for juniors, but also review the prompts they are using to lead to the result. And refine, after all, refine the competencies models to blend the fundamentals with new AI skills together. This is an engineering architect in Thoughtworks. So I'm not going to read them one by one, but the key reading are two things. First of all, the AI specialized competencies are equally important to the software engineering competencies. And the second one, the code review and requirement analysis is becoming more important, which requires higher proficiencies from the developers. So the last pitfall is about culture. If we don't do AI right, our engineering culture will collapse. This is more like a consequence of all the pitfalls we have shared before. If people are getting the wrong way of using AI, so they will easily lost their engineering culture. So I didn't see there is any a very serious issue in Thoughtworks teams, but I do have a case on another external event. One of my audience raised this issue to me. He is a CTO of a small IT industry. One of his development team using AI to generate a new big feature in a very short period of time, and they feel very good. But the problem is when coming to the handover phase, they want to hand over the feature to the operation teams. And problem comes. The operation team have less tech skills than the development team in his case, but the developers cannot explain clearly about the code logic, and the documentation they provide to the ops team is not very useful, and the coding patterns are not similar to what the ops team used to do in the other modules before. So the ops team cannot operate the new feature at all. They tried multiple ways to solving the problem and even ask for solutions in that event. But we can obviously say that the engineering culture for the development team, for his development team, is corrupted already. Right? So the culture is not a thing on the table that we can touch and we can see, but it's a hidden collection of behaviors on how people using, or how people doing in our organization. In our case, it's about how people are using AI tools with different attitude. Bad patterns scales faster than good patterns, just like the lies spreads much more faster than the truth. So the team are trapped in any of the AI pitfalls can easily lost in the engineering culture. There is a word in Chinese called 做一天和尚撞一天钟. It translates to be a monk for one day, strike the bow for one day. It is to talk to the type of people that they don't have passion. They don't want to do new things. They just want to finish their work and get the salary, of course. So if the team is only achieving finishing the work by AI or even faster, it's just like that. So it's like going through that motion every day. So the team culture is corrupted. So how to identify if there is any issues in the culture? Here are some warning signs. Developers skips verification. And they said, that's what AI said to me, let's accept. And the sheep and prominent sheep mindset, they prompt and just accept by default to achieve faster delivery. And they deliver a lot of code in the same time or in a same pull request. So you probably heard about this joke that if I can give 10 different comments for a 10-line pull request, but I can only give you a looks good to me if the pull request is 100 lines. So the same situation applies here. When we review the AI code, if AI gives us too much code, how can we do a better code review? And also, the people are stopping review the AI code seriously. They use lower standard to review the AI code. And also, there is no more efforts put on building the craft skills. No training is delivered. Everyone is rushing to AI. And decisions are made by AI. Okay, that's AI said. Sounds reasonable, let's accept. And also transactional collaborations. People only collaborate with people if there is a thing happens. But most of the time, they collaborate with AI. And silent retros, people are not discussing about mistakes because human doesn't make mistake. And sometimes they even purely use AI to generate some improvement plans instead of having a retro. And teams copy and share the bad shortcuts from other people, other teams. And also not paying not enough attention on using AI. They use different ways on different tasks, so this brings more inconsistencies in the team. So do culture right with AI. Prompt for purpose. Learn from AI. Improve your prompting skills. Celebrate on the engineering practices like designs, clean code, TDD, and also put effort to deliver the training in the same time. Collaborate other with empathy. You never hand over things to other people that AI generated that you don't understand. And slow down to go faster. Build the foundation, learn more things, build your own standards, best practices is also important. And build a sharing culture on AI. If you have something good, share with others. And also, a last, reward clarity, not volume. If you recognize the people who build transparency, maintainability, and trust across the boundaries. Yep, that's the sharing for today from me. Thank you very much.